Welcome to Living with the Spectrum. I am Tim, and someone that's entering now is my lovely co-host, my wife, Denisha Ashley. And it looks like Grace is trying to get into the picture, right?
I literally said, don't start without me.
Hey, we got to be timely, you know. We got to try to keep it on time. How you guys been doing?
What's up? Welcome to Living with the Spectrum. I'm so used to saying it, and then you cut me out and didn't give me the opportunity to do that. So, today is episode 10, and we have a special guest. Coming on with us today. This person is extremely close to me, and Tim, of course, but more so me than Tim. And we figured because it was episode 10, we've made it all the way to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Trying to be consistent and have consistent content come out. We would bring my She
Mother
touched the
on.
cord. She's gonna knock down the camera.
Don't knock down the camera.
My mom is our first guest on Living with the Spectrum, and so before
we gotta introduce her though. We have to let you guys know that she has been an educator for years. She worked with special needs children.
She worked with children with
before she found out that her grandchildren.
Hey.
I'm
Sorry,
saying
go ahead.
before she found out that her grandchildren were on the spectrum, God prepared her for this journey. So we're not going to delay it. She is a pastor. They have a church out there in Vero Beach,
Correct.
Florida, called Christ Cathedral Church.
Correct.
So she's going to come to you and let you know what it's like from a grandparent's point of view and perspective.
Correct.
And we're not going to hold back any blows. We're just going to be real with it. All right. So we're not going to delay any longer.
From one side. I'm sorry, y'all.
What? It's not?
It's
Okay.
over.
Hold on. Let me fix that.
We're trying to get this camera thing right. We're using
Okay, so is that better? Is that
I don't know, we'll see. Oh shoot. I'm sorry, y'all. We gotta make sure.
Yeah, because it's showing us one image over this way, and then it's showing us
Another image
somewhere else. So we just want to make sure that we're up and we're doing it the right way.
Forgive us.
Give us just a second. Let's see.
Let's see.
That should be it. Let me see.
Let's see. Did that fix the problem? That did fix the problem.
So with
now
no more
we cooking
delay,
with fish grease.
With no more delay, I'm going to go ahead and bring on my mother-in-law, Denisha's mom, and her name is Lottie Nicholson, and she's going to just share with us, her thoughts on everything. So, Mom, you there?
Hold on. Give us a moment. Come on.
Is there a picture number?
Hold on. Is everything okay, Mom?
I'm trying. The screen went black.
Okay, try to come back in. We'll
Just
put you in.
hold on, babe. Her screen went black. So can you touch the side of your phone and you went completely. Did you tell her what happened?
I didn't tell her anything. Well, as we're working out the kinks.
Hold on.
Phone now, and I'm trying to figure out how to come back in to you all.
Okay. So listen, just start the same process over again, and as soon as you join in, we'll just bring you in.
Yeah.
So go to the link that Tim sent you. Excuse us, y'all. It's trying to teach my mom how to. And she did. She been doing good. So listen, it's just a little kink, little hiccup in the road, but she gonna get on, y'all. So do like we were doing before, Mom, and then as soon as you get joined in, we'll just bring you right in.
I am so sorry.
No, you're fine.
No problem.
You good? All the stuff that we be dealing with.
Technical issues. It happens all the time.
I mean, it's to be expected, actually. So anybody that is
tech savvy.
know, just knows living with the spectrum, they know that we deal with technical difficulties.
We do.
But it's gonna come together.
It's gonna work out.
Anyway, we are very excited. I'm very excited to have my mom in. Oh, hold on, cause at least we know the sound working, right?
Yeah.
Again, this is episode 10, Living
10.
with the Spectrum, and we are coming in from the perspective of my mom, which is my children's grandmother, and she holds a very big role in our lives as well as our children's lives, and actually the beginning of our journey. So bear with us while she's trying to get back in. It's done clicked us back over
No,
to.
I did that. Two different shots.
Oh, he's trying to. Okay, y'all. Hold on. Oh, yep.
Right,
We
she's
see her,
back
so
in.
she's coming, y'all.
All right,
Here
so
we
without
go.
delay, we're going to bring in my mother-in-law, Lottie Nicholson. You guys give her a warm welcome. Hi, Mom. How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. I just have one thing that I need to say.
Hold on one second. Why can't we hear her?
We can't hear her because it's going straight into the computer, so you got to turn that up.
But isn't that gonna feed into the?
No.
Hold on. Wait. Do I need to hang up the regular phone?
No. You can
Wait. So now I'm confused. What?
I guess what I do, let me hook something up so we can hear her.
So I should not hang up my phone. Okay, Mom. Can you hear me? Don't touch that. Okay, say it again now, Mom.
I have double talking on my side. I hear myself talking twice and you all talking twice.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. He's about to figure out. You have to move.
There's a lot of things going on.
Anyways, okay. So, if I mute my phone, will she be able to hear me? Okay. I'm gonna mute my phone. Mom, you mute your phone, and we'll talk through the computer.
Okay, so
I am okay. Guys, it's got the line across the speaker. Is that okay?
Yeah, but she's kicking the.
Okay, we got it. Stop, Grace.
Okay, say something.
Okay, am I okay now?
She done moved the whole camera. Yes. How was the double talking? Is it better?
I can hear you all yet.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
I had to move that camera. She picked it up, so I don't know if it's in the right spot. All right, so y'all, we apologize. It get a little crazy over here. And so again, this is my mom. Her name is Lottie, and she is very instrumental. You guys say hi, Lottie, or whatever. Very instrumental. Grace, stop. Grace wants to be in the mix. Y'all know how Grace is. She wants to be in the middle of everything. And so anyway, yeah, we can see you.
Can you see us?
Can you see us okay?
I can't. I have no picture of you, but that's fine.
She can't see us for some reason.
Okay.
That's okay. Don't worry. I can hear you very good.
Okay. So I am thankful for you guys bearing with us. Y'all know sometimes we get a little sidetracked. Things happen. But, of course, the enemy will definitely try his best to throw curveballs or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to move on. So, again, this is my mom. And like I said before, she was very instrumental in helping us discover what was going on with our oldest son, Nehemiah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take us back a little bit and help, her kind of jog her memory and help her remember how she, because it was so long ago. It was 13 years. Well, no, even Nehemiah is 13 now, so
It's about 10 years
it was about 10 years ago. Yeah, he was diagnosed around 3 years old. So again, she has a history with working with kids on the spectrum. So Ma, tell us a little bit about your history with working with the kids before we get to Nehemiah.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and it's a blessing to be here to talk about something that I say as something I can help someone. But as I worked with children for many years, and as I was placed with special needs, actually with autistic children, many years ago, working with the class with another teacher, and it was an experience. But the Lord blessed me through and everything to autistic kids. And I never knew at that time that I could be in this position. But even though I studied for, God gave me the ability to work with the kids, talk to instruct the kids, the teachers taught me what to do. And I learned that autistic kids need to teach them every step. And autistic kids are there as well. They love music. They do mess like that. They like to eat the same things. They like to do the same thing. And their behavior, how they talk, if they don't talk. And so, it was just such an experience. So, we had Nehemiah, and after with everything, which 2.5-ish, recognized that something was different about it.
Because I had been working with them for years. And I was like, tell them. I've got to tell and Tim, and I've got to tell my family. So I prayed about it, and you got to tell them, because I see the behavior, and I recognize that this is autistic behavior. So I went to them, and I to them, Tim and Denise first. I told them, that I need to tell you something that's not going to make you feel comfortable or whatever, but that I work with
bring the phone up closer to her mouth.
Coming back together. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, bring the phone closer to your mouth. It's a little choppy. Try
Okay,
it now.
is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So once I started to talk to you all and explain to you all, I needed to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
And this might not be so great or good or whatever, but I recognize that Nehemiah is autistic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you all need to have, and because he is autistic, I see behavior in him. And so I don't know how they felt, but at the time, after I saw his behavior and saw that what was going on with me, I knew I could autistic children to work with them, so that I can let everyone know what was going on. You all accepted it very good. I'm sure that it hurt and everything, but you didn't give me any backlash or anything like that. You received it. But when I told my husband it wasn't so nice, he didn't like that I said it. But I was like, well, I can't help it. It is what it is. This is what God has shown me.
Right.
And so anyway, just wanted to share that, with you all.
So, it's so funny because when you said you came to me and told me that you wanted to tell me something. And you said we received it very well. You know, I thought that when you told me that you seen traits about Nehemiah that, you know, he could possibly have autism, I definitely was in a form of denial and disbelief, because first of all, I had never experienced anybody that had autism, and I didn't really know what that looked like. So when you said it to me, I didn't really know what to expect. And I think I had said previously that it took me at least 4 or 5 months to get Nehemiah diagnosed, because I was just like, this can't be, you know, something that we're going to be dealing with. And especially because I didn't really know what it was. And I know you had explained it to me and Tim what autism was, or tried to explaining to us. But, you know, sometimes when you've never experienced or gone through something like that, you don't really know what the life looks like. So you said that I know when you came to me, you were very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes,
that's a big thing to have to do, especially for your first grandson. Like, I have 2 older
right.
nieces, and so, you know, so we do have, you know, she does have other grandchildren, but this is her first grandson. And so
Right.
this was a big deal for the family anyway, because it was, you know, the first boy in the family, from my 2 older brothers. And so she was nervous, like she was saying before. I don't know if you guys could hear, because it was kind of a lot going on my end. And then so she was nervous to tell me and my husband, but most of all, she was nervous to tell my father,
Oh, Lord.
because that was that's a big thing, okay? When we're talking about my father's grandson, you know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
how did that go for you, Ma?
It did not go that well. Um, it was not easy. I did not receive a nice response from him.
Of course.
Um, he argued and said no.
Right.
That's not true. That's not so. However, he, got on my case,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, well, Nick, I can't help it, because it is what it is. This is what the Lord has shown me. This is why God put me with autistic kids, so that I can recognize the symptoms.
Right.
And I couldn't deny it, because I had been doing this for a few years,
Right.
It wasn't something that I had just got into. I had been into autistic kids for a few years.
Right.
So,
Are you like,
I don't know what's up.
I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. All of a sudden, now y'all know Grace and the kids, they do their little something while we, doing our podcast. But it's like everybody is having a complete meltdown. Grace thinks that she's going to go outside in 35-degree weather with a dress and some sneakers. I mean, we have our first special guest on the podcast, and the entire world behind me is falling apart. You know that this is going to be an important segment for somebody, because
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Tim has had to get up. Now, we normally do have to get up there and back and forth, but I mean, she is really going in. Tim, see if she wants some spaghetti. I don't know. I showed you last segment that she pretty much lives on Pediasure. And so sometimes we try to implement food just to see if she'll eat it. But anyway, so
Right.
as my mom was saying, yeah, so again, my father is a wonderful man. Don't get it twisted, by no means. Anybody that knows my dad knows that he's a very sweet man.
Yes.
And he'll give you the shirt off his back, but at the same time, he's very Jamaican, okay? And we as in that culture, it's different from American culture, and not even just American culture. Autism in a African American culture is kind of looked at as, it's, a lot of times your child bad, and
Right.
they need a whooping.
Exactly. Exactly.
They don't got no home training.
Right.
All of these negative bouts of autism. And a lot of times when you're in that community, we hear these things, and not just by random people, these are by family members. And I'm not saying those are the things that my father was saying. Go ahead, Mom.
No, he didn't say that. No, he didn't say that.
No,
He
no,
was
no,
in
no, no, no.
denial. Yeah.
No.
But I've seen it in the family, though. I've seen it in the family with our kids,
Yeah. Yeah.
even at church.
Yeah. Yeah. So exactly, she said even at church. And so a lot of times we don't get the opportunity because we're looked at with the side eye, or
Right.
whatever the case may be. We don't get the opportunity to really explain our situation. So for me, this is a big deal, and it's very important because a lot of times we don't understand that the grandparents, if you have grandparents, and not just grandparents, but good grandparents, and me and Tim talk about my parents all the time, how big of a support system that they have been for us since the beginning of our marriage. They deal with the effects of autism as well. We were living in Orlando at the time, so we were about an hour and a half away from my parents when Nehemiah was diagnosed. But my parents were always there for pretty much every diagnosis, or if they needed to be at a therapy session or whatever the case may be. We could call on them and they were there. So, Ma, just tell me, how do you feel about, and I don't want to, because, I do talk, I'm noticing. Me and my mother are very similar. We're talkers. That was on my progress report and report card all the time. So tell me, and we laugh a lot too. Y'all don't even know. Before this whole thing started, we was cracking up. Tell me how it feels to have 3 children that are your grandkids on the spectrum. Just kind of come from the grandparents' perspective, if you can.
Okay, well, it was something that I had to deal with. I had to pray and ask God to help me to accept, this is what is going on, and to calm my mind and my spirit and let me walk in peace about it. Because had I not asked for the Lord to help me to walk in peace, I would be stressed out about it. And it was something that I did not want to. I didn't want to. And I couldn't deal with no extra stress. So, said, God, you said and wonderfully made. And I had to repeat and myself and remind myself that this is not a mistake. This is what God did. This is the way God made the children.
Right.
We don't understand, but God understands.
Right.
We don't know why. God knows why. And so it did not and does not take away from my love for my grandchildren, because one thing about this set of grandchildren is that I'm closer to my grandkids in Georgia than my grandkids that are here in the same city with me. And I love the connection. I love the social time that we spend together. My husband does too as well. And it's a blessing to have our 3 kids. I mean, everybody call them my babies, and for who they are. It's just a matter of how to work with them, how to use methods and what have you for misbehavior And it's a matter of understanding that they have these needs. And when people look at them sideways, I get upset. I'm like, what you looking at them like that? And I remember taking them to every day. I mean, they were standing up in the church, and Nehemiah, he'll stand up so often and move from side to side. People give me the eye. And I'm
Right.
like, you all
Can you
don't
put us
understand.
side to side?
Autistic kids. So
Right.
I literally had to go to the pastor and explain it to the pastor. Because I took him to that church for a few times and explained it to him. And he said, oh, okay, now. So what he did is he, talked to some people and let them know,
Why are we?
that they're not misbehaving.
Right.
They have, their special needs, which was a blessing for him to, because people stop looking at me funny and stop giving me the eye and stuff.
Right.
Even in our family, our close family members, I had to take time to explain to them, a few of them, that this is normal behavior, because they literally said to me, what's wrong with them? Why are they acting like that? I'm like, they're not doing anything.
That sound is pretty bad.
Our special needs children.
Right.
And special needs children, they are normal children, but they have different behavior. They are, and one thing I always stress, thank you, Father. When I say thank you, Father, I'm saying God, thank you. One thing I always
My,
Lord let me know, we have healthy children.
right.
Not only have I had the opportunity in the classroom to work with special needs
Her screen
children,
is frozen.
I was on the bus. And
Hold
I saw
on, Ma-
special needs.
Mom,
Yes,
Mom,
go
hold
ahead.
on 1 second. We having
Go
some
ahead.
issue. Someone saying your screen is frozen and you're echoing. So if you sit on the porch, how is that?
I don't know. Let me see.
Tim said, Tim. Do you have reverb on the what, Mike?
No, it's no reverb.
He said,
Okay.
It's
reverb on the
Now,
mic, turn it off. And it will... Okay. Let's see
on the-
now.
How was
Okay.
this?
That sounds better. All right, try it now.
Okay.
yeah, it sounds a lot better.
What you want?
Just you said that let's see.
Oh, I said not only did I have the opportunity to work with children in the classroom, but I also was put on the school bus with special
Right.
needs children. And I was so encouraged and so pleased and praising God because our kids are not as severe
Right.
as the children that I saw on the school bus. I mean, when I say severe, I mean severe. And so I would let you all know after I got on the school bus that we are so blessed. Can you all hear me?
We can hear you, but it says that you're frozen, so you might have to go out and come back in. Can you do that?
Okay.
We're gonna give you the opportunity to go because what you're saying is very important.
Yes, it is.
And I want people to be able to see and hear you. So if you go out and come back in, that should help because I can hear you a lot better now that you're outside.
Yeah, me too. So I'll kick her out and bring her back in.
Okay, so what we're doing is, I'm sorry, you guys. Thank you, my friends. I got two of my friends are texting me and telling me what's going on because we can't tell. And I really want you guys to understand and get this. It's really, really important for you guys to understand. We want to come on all different perspectives. You guys hear from us all the time how what it's like. And so we're giving her the opportunity to go off and then restart and come back in. But
so that you can hear her point of view, because autism doesn't just affect the parents, it affects the whole family. And I'm talking about not just immediate, it it affects your extended family as well.
Right.
So we're getting to hear from a grandmother's perspective, you know, and how they have to deal with certain things, even though they may not be around the child all the time. There's still some feelings that they have about the whole situation and about how it affects their lives too, because they may have dreams of, you know, having grandchildren that they can go to their games, or grandchildren
She's
that
back.
they can do certain things with. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my mother-in-law back in.
Okay, can you
Hello.
all hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, we can hear you better.
All right, Ma, you learning how to do this thing. You go, girl. You gonna be in.
I'm trying.
You doing good, Ma. Go ahead. Okay.
Professional now.
So we were just
So what?
explaining. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we were just explaining to them while you were trying to get yourself back connected, how your perspective is going to be different from our perspective as the grandparents. And we need, because there are grandparents that are out there that may not have the same training that you've had as well. God prepared
That's
you
true.
for this.
Yes.
God pre-prepared you for this before me and Tim were even together.
Yeah.
So while I was in high school, you were working with children on the autistic spectrum. I had no knowledge of autism even in high school, you know. So this was even before me and Tim. This is while I was in high school. And so this is a big deal. So it's important for us to come in on a different perspective, because you will be able to give advice to families and grandparents where we can come and give advice and stuff to parents.
Yeah.
But you as being a teacher that's dealt with it, and as well a grandparent, you have a different perspective. So when you were last talking, you were saying that you took them to a church and you had to explain to the pastor. Go ahead.
Right. I had to explain to the pastor. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
everything is great.
Okay, good. Explain to the pastor that the kids were autistic, and they're special needs kids, and even though they look normal, I was like, Lord, I've always been so grateful for God. We have beautiful grandkids, and when you look at them, you cannot tell that there is anything different about them. It is when their behavior, when they begin to move, or the way they look, or something that you might see them do, then you know, wait a minute, something is different. Or either you and think that they are misbehaving children.
Right.
Our daughters are gorgeous. My grandson is handsome.
Yes.
And God made it so they are such fine looking children. They don't have any health problems, major anything like that. And so when you look at them, you expect them to act like regular children.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to explain it to the pastor and tell him, I said, yes, look at them. You think that they are, they misbehave, or they are misbehaving. It's normal. They are not, they don't have anything twisted or anything like that. And they are beautiful kids. Yeah, they're fine looking children. But they're autistic. And if you notice, you'll know that it's something. And he said, okay, now I understand. So then he talked to some people in the church and let them know. After that, they stopped making fun because then they understood. And what I wanted to say, I tell you that I also got the opportunity on the school bus. And on the school bus, I got the opportunity to see special needs children that were severely worse than grandchildren.
Is it Facebook on back there?
Did you
I'm
hear
sorry.
me?
I almost is. I'm trying to, cause there's an echo for some reason,
And I don't
just
know
want
why.
to make sure that there is no
No type of distraction.
no type of distraction, because what you're saying is it's really good stuff. Grace.
If you see me laughing, it's going to be because of my granddaughter. She has my heart. And when
Yes.
Grace makes one
Anytime
sound,
Grace-
I get
yeah.
thrown off completely. And it's like I'm ready to been to my granddaughter and talked to her and laughed with her,
Can you just
and
turn
she
it
just
off for
touched
now,
my.
just in case? That's it.
That's my baby.
I can take that off. But that's thank you.
But
Well, I don't know.
anyway,
I'm
I
just
was.
trying to. Go ahead.
Tell me when to talk.
No, go ahead. You're good.
You're good.
Okay. So then when I was in the bus, I had a
Where's your
different
phone?
experience. The kids were twisted.
It's not right.
Kids were,
Charging.
their face looked different. Their hands were set in ways that they couldn't move. They were in wheelchairs. I mean, when I say here, I mean, so God let me sit and be around them for a good while. How blessed. And I began to tell Tim and my husband, you all do not know how blessed we are. We are so blessed because we don't have to. God has blessed us that we don't have our grandkids that are twisted. They're not in wheelchairs. They're able to feed themselves. They're able to, they can dress themselves. They can talk. They can let us know. They understand. And a lot of people,
Come on.
they could dress themselves. They could feed themselves. They were in a wheelchair. Their bodies were twisted. So I said, oh my God, Lord, thank you. So I want everyone to know, and even the grandparents, if you have the kids, know there is a reason that God has placed those in your life. And just love them for who they are. And get some training or some group that you can get in so that you can have a support system. But it's good to have it.
It's something's playing and it's echo. I'm sorry, Mom. For some reason,
we're having technical
it's a lot of
difficulties.
echo for some reason behind. It's like an echo from.
Maybe because I'm playing from here. That's probably what it is.
What do you mean?
But they still need to hear her from here. Because it has the option.
How is this?
No, you're fine. What do you mean? Maybe because you're playing it from here.
Maybe because I'm playing it back from the computer. Maybe it could be going into the microphone.
I think that's what it is. So
That's
what?
probably what it is.
So can
Maybe
you
I
undo
can just turn
it?
it down. I'll just turn it down.
Can you undo it?
No, it's something that we need to be able to hear unless we have.
Unless you have what?
Let me see if I can.
Okay. Can you talk? Say something, Ma.
Okay, yes, I can.
All right, can they hear?
Okay.
Can you guys respond back
since
to
y'all
us
been
in the chat?
texting me this whole time, let me know
And
how
just
that's
let us
working.
know how it's working because it's very important to hear
It's
what she's
important,
saying.
right? I want everybody to be able to hear, and so I have two of my friends. I'm listening to everything my mom is saying, and Mom, you're doing amazing.
Good job.
They're telling me, so as you're talking to me, I'm getting text messages, and so I just want to make sure that what is being said is being heard because it's important. So one of my good friends, before I start calling names, and you know I will, text me back and let me know how the sound is. So go ahead, Mom, say a few things so that they can know if the sound is good.
Yes, well, so I really want everyone to know that if you have friends, family members like that, especially to family, that accept your children and thank God that they will have problems that are detrimental to their health because it could be worse. But
Okay,
God, we
the
training
microphone.
and group,
Is that better?
and we need help.
No, you just cut her off.
So
They can hear it from there.
Okay, but I can't hear her.
You might just have to turn the phone on.
you can't hear me
How
now.
to turn the phone? Hold on, Ma. What you mean?
I'm trying to work
Hold
out
on.
the
Okay, he
technical-
said whatever he's recording you on has a mic, and whatever y'all are recording at has a mic. Mute the camera mic. Wait, mute the mic. The camera has.
But it's not showing up on the camera. So how it's working? The whole setup is going through a Scarlett 2i2, which I upload to the computer, and the camera over here.
Does this
the
have a mic?
The program, it does have a mic, but it's not showing because it's not being enabled through the program.
So can we disconnect that?
No, that's the main mic. I mean, that's the main camera.
So why can't we use the camera on the computer?
Why would we use the camera on the computer?
Because it's stopped. Okay, so the problem.
So that's not the problem. What the problem is that it could be an issue with the playback through the computer instead of going through the 2i2. Because we can hear the playback coming from here, and that can be going into the mic, and that can make it echo.
So how can you fix that? So can we? I'm sorry, y'all.
Probably by hooking up the speakers. That's probably what I may have to do. I may have to hook up the speakers so we can hear a little bit of what's going through.
So can we mute us while she's talking?
Yeah, we can mute ourselves.
So maybe would that help?
I don't think so, but we can do.
I mean, let's give it a try.
Let's try it.
Okay, so can you hear me, Ma?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
She can hear you.
So what we're trying to figure out how to make this not echo, because there is an echo when you speak, but not when we speak. So
Exactly.
what they think is both of the cameras are recording us, but it's causing an echo. It's a whole technical thing. So what we're gonna do is when you talk, we're gonna mute ourselves. I can't hear you. I can't hear her now.
Yeah, I know, because I sent the sound to the 2i2 instead of through the computer. So let's try that.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes. What'd you say?
I said, I was just going to say that because this is the first time doing this, with you all bringing in someone you are going to learn how to fix it. So when others come in, to take a part in the spectrum, or this podcast, that it will, you're learning how to refine your skills. Okay. So as you're learning how to refine your skills. This is the first time that you're having someone on. So I want to say to those that are listening that just please be patient with us. God is not through with us yet. Okay. We're trying, and we're, doing the best that we can. Okay. So
perfect. So I've given 2 shout outs. Okay, so my 2 girls, G and Kanisha, y'all have been on it, texting me back and forth. Is it 2 devices coming on? Because when she talk, it's an echo. I'm like, I don't know. No, it's only 1 device. And then G's husband, thank you, all of y'all. And then we figured it out. Kanisha said, try muting us while she talks. So I said, can we try muting us while she talks? And he was like, we can do it, but that ain't probably gonna do it. And G said that did it. So
shout out.
Thank you, Kanisha, Jean, and Everett. It takes a village to make Living with the Spectrum work. So
let me do this. Could you guys put in the chats how much did you hear or how much you didn't hear? Because I would like for her to reiterate some of this stuff so that you guys could be able to hear what she said. Yes. And just bring it back around full circle, because it's very important that you get what other people are feeling. Correct. You get the understanding of what other family members are feeling, and say for instance you don't know how people are feeling. You get how they feel based on what you heard from their testimony. Correct. So that's how we're going to do it now. So we talked about a couple of key things. We talked about when we first heard the diagnosis, how she felt with giving the diagnosis, and how she was nervous. Correct. Because a lot of people don't take or are receptive of someone telling them that there's something that could be wrong with their children. Correct. And especially if it's in your family and you got to deal with a Jamaican husband, and you have to deal with 2 other individuals. And the daughter that is very similar to her father. Yes, right. And then she went on to talk about when she was in church. A lot of us aren't accepted in church environments. You know, thank God the last church that we were at, they accepted, you know, our children and so on and so forth. But we were at another church, and another church, they basically told us our child had to go to the children's nursery. They couldn't stay with us and so on and so forth. So, you know, sometimes people don't understand in that way.
And you know me, I was ready to pop off, but Tim said, not in the church. Go ahead.
And then she started talking about her experience with working with children on the bus. And just how she saw people that were in worse conditions than our children, and how we were complaining about what we were going through. But, you know, we should thank God that it's not worse.
Exactly.
You know?
Okay.
And you want to see if, Ma, you want to go ahead and reiterate?
Yeah,
that
so
stuff?
that's exactly what they're saying. Please, Mom, they want you to talk. Now that we've got the sound right and we know that we have to mute ourselves, they want you to kind of talk about. So let me just go from where after you had talked to the pastor and said, you know, my grandkids have autism, so regardless of how they look or whatever, autism is never a face. I am over the fact that your child does not look autistic. That doesn't mean a hill of beans, because that's not a thing. Again, that is not a thing. Autism does not have sometimes you may have a deformity or a severe something, but a lot of times autistic children do not suffer any type of physical
mutations or
so I've heard that for years. Your children don't look autistic, and that's a myth. That autism doesn't have a face, it doesn't have a color, it doesn't have a gender, it don't care who you are, it don't matter. I grew up in the church, my mom grew up in the church, her mom grew up in the church, her mom grew up in the church. So we got a long bloodline in the church. It don't care, okay? So anyway, go ahead, Mom. Go ahead and talk about just what it's like as being a grandparent and having your kids with you, and sometimes having to maybe straighten somebody out when they may be looking, you know, funny at your grandchildren, or if you can enlighten some of the grandparents on how to help or encourage the parents. Go ahead.
Right. Yes. Even when I take them to the store sometimes, you know, because I do take, you know, when the kids come, we decide, okay, I'm going to take Nehemiah with me, and I'll take Evea, and you watch Grace. That's our thing, because Grace is a busy bee. That's what I call my granddaughter, the baby. She's a busy bee. She likes to move, go climb, but that's a normal. Now that definitely is normal with children. and some kids her age, kids that don't have any autistic behavior or any, they're not on the spectrum. Some kids like to climb, move, jump, run, scream. Grace is that. So when the kids come, Nick and I made a agreement that I would take Nehemiah and take Evea with me wherever I go, to the store or something like that, and he would keep Grace at the house. So when we take all three of the kids, then it's all two of us together. So we can man all three of them together. But we do this together. But you know what? I'm going to be honest. It's not discouraging. It's not something that you can't do, because the Bible says I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And God has given us the ability and the knowledge how to deal with our grandkids. And we love them for who they are. Yes, sometimes Evea misbehave, and you got to figure out something to do to get her under control. But God, he shows us how to do it, you know. And Grace, you know, Grace is a busy bee, that's all. Like, she's moving, jumping, doing. So we expect that. and she's messing with everything, you know. So you got to know what to move when they come and what not to move. And you better move everything that can break, because we've got whatnots and stuff, you know. They call them, you know, the little figurines and stuff. So when it's time for them to come, it's time to move the figurines, because Grace is going to play with it. It's time. If I want my flowers in my vase, I better move my vase, my special flower arrangement, because Grace is going to pull the flowers out the vase so that she can play with the flowers. But you know, you adjust to these things and you love the kids for who they are, and you appreciate having them, because if you didn't have no grandkids at all, then you'd be by yourself, you know. So I really do, we appreciate, even my husband, we appreciate the kids. We protect the kids just like they are our own physical kids. We don't put up with nobody you know, doing the kids wrong, or, you know, that's what I wanted to say, mistreating the kids or anything like that. They're special to us, and we try to feed them what they want, you know, because we know that I knew it only because of the experience that I had. I knew that kids like this, they don't like to eat everything we eat. So we got to give them what they like. And you just accept it. You give them what they like and pray to God that they'll eat it. And then when they do eat, you be like, Lord, now. We be saying, Lord, thank you, because they is eating. Lord, thank you, because Grace is eating. Thank you, Jesus. Nehemiah, on the other hand, is a good eater. Nehemiah is almost like my boys that will eat you out of house and home. But thank God. He's like that. That's a typical boy that love to eat. But, you know, it's not an impossible thing to deal with your grandkids when they're like this, or your children. If you've got children, you just need a support group, and you need to follow through on getting the training and the experiences that you need to help you get through this, because you need somebody. We need somebody. We need each other, and we need to support one another. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that was very important. And one thing that you said, which is what I actually wanted to point out, was a lot of times we, because we don't know what the quote unquote quote normal behavior looks like, we have to be reminded that this is regular behavior for a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, now we have 5, 10, and 13. So because we do not, we're not used to what that is, you a lot of times have to say, well, Grace, really? You have to a lot of times let us know, like, no, that's typical behavior for a 5-year-old. No, that's typical behavior for, you know, whatever the age is. And so, Grace, she is like really trying to be.
This camera right here is the one that's picking it up.
Okay. So, a lot of times people forget that even in the journey of autism, our children have moments of just being children.
Right.
And we get lost in, does she need to be standing there?
No, she doesn't. Get down.
Okay, but that's what I said. You said
I said get down.
Okay, but she's gonna keep doing it because you.
No, this camera right here is picking up everything. But
yeah, but
I don't.
Anyway,
I don't
so a lot of times as the parents, and I think that we're gonna have to continue this
Yes.
another episode because it took so much time with the doggone volume. You know, but we spend so much time as the parents, so stuck on the diagnosis and so stuck on what we're dealing with that we sometimes we lose the time of them being children because we're so stressed out about, you know, all of what's going on and all of that or whatever. So I am thankful that my mom has to continuously sometimes just say, hey, no, that's normal as a child, you know. And
Right.
so that it's a blessing to have my mother and my father as a support system. And is there any, before we close out, I mean, we got a few minutes before we close out, but before we close out this episode, and we're definitely going to probably have to do a part 2 to this, only because I wanted to go in a little bit about the first time. So the first time when Nehemiah was diagnosed, I was by myself, but the second and the third time, you and my dad came to the Marcus Institute with us, with me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of allow you to talk about, and it probably won't be this episode, just kind of talk about how it was to actually be in the room and hear these words that were they were really devastating to me. And so there was one thing that you said, that you had to pray and ask God to help you get peace from it. And because if not, you would be stressed out about it on a continuous basis. So I want to give you and my dad, probably the next time, he didn't get enough notice. He not gonna get on nobody's camera without enough notice. He got to be suited and booted. So I wasn't even going to do that to him. So I said, let me get my mom off first, and then I'll have my dad join, because I literally, the funny thing is, so I was going into Publix, and this is a real quick side note, and then I'm going to let my mom, send out with some encouraging words. So last week, me and Tim were talking about a special guest. And we said we're going to have a special guest come on for number 10. And so all week was a very busy week for me and Tim. And so today I kept saying, I need to talk to my mom. I need to remind her, let her know that she is the special guest. So it wasn't until maybe 12? No, it was probably 1. I was going into Publix and we were on the phone just by mishap. And she said something to me, and I said, oh yeah, about tonight, you're our special guest.
Sit down, Grace.
And she said, I've been hearing about this special guest, and I've been wondering who the special guest was. And I said, oh, that was you. I'm sorry. Let her say something, babe. Mute me. Mom, you there? Phone, I don't know if it died or whatever the case may be, but yeah, I told my mom that she was the special guest the moment of her being the special guest, and she was so gracious to still join us and say, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Grace, come on, sweetheart.
Come on down.
You have to sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down.
No, not where the camera
really
is.
Grace. So she joined us not really knowing. I'm sorry, y'all.
They can't see that one.
She joined us not knowing that she was going to be the special guest. And the reason why my dad is not on, because I didn't get a chance to talk to him. And like I said, no, I can't let her be great because she's taking up my so I didn't tell my dad, so I have to give him enough notice to be able to get himself together, because he's all about who he is, okay? So, but the next time, like I was saying, we will have them on, because the diagnosis for Evea and Grace, they were with me. They drove all the way up from Florida, and they were there. So it was their first encounter with having to be, in the room and deal with listening to all of just all of the random things that the doctor spewed out at you, and you have no idea what is being said. Only thing you hear is your child has autism. They're on this level. They are now they don't have it. they don't like categorize it anymore. It's just pretty much on the spectrum and all of this or whatever. And if you're in the community, you understand it's a headache. So I was trying to see if we could get her back, and just because I wanted her to be able to give some encouraging words to the parents and the grandparents. Let me text her real quick, babe. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. So basically, we want to get her to come back on to give some encouraging words to some parents and grandparents that may just be going into this, or that may be discouraged. There it is. That may be discouraged or anything of that nature. This whole podcast is about helping people that are in the similar situations that we're in, and that's what it's all about. We want to create a community, or even get into bonding with people that are in similar situations. So that's what it's all about. So giving you the information that you need. Go ahead.
Well, I was trying to get her back in, so that's why I told you to say a little something.
I'm just listening.
So y'all, okay, me and Tim be going back and forth because I'm about to be real transparent real quick, right? He like, oh, you always taking all the time to talk. See, there she is up on the camera. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Okay, yeah. So they can't see her.
No.
Okay. So, but I don't. Okay. Anyways, you always take all the time to talk. Blah blah blah. Right. So now I'm trying to get my mom and find out, what happened with her and stuff like that. Give him his own opportunity to kind of talk about the episode and how he, whatever he's feeling, he give you the 1-2 step and like, all right, now you go.
No, but here's the thing. This is the type of person. This is the type of person I am. I'm more apt to listen and slower to speak. And even though we're in the middle of a podcast, it's really not about me. It's all about just listening and getting other people's perspective. And you got to know when it's your time to go in, and when you have valuable words to give. I mean, I can't give you something I don't have. I'm just listening. That's all that I'm doing. Okay. And I'm grateful to be here before you, and to be able to. Okay.
No, keep going.
I'm just grateful to be on here and to create a platform, for people that are just like me, for people that are struggling with, having the fact that your child has some form of disability, and that right now you don't have what is a so-called normal life. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that come along with it. There's some heartache, some pain. There is some good times, but you gotta know that you can't always look at the negative. If you look at the negative, it creates an environment for you to be negative. It creates an environment for you to look at just negativity, when you got to find out how I can work this thing, how I can change this thing around for my good, how I can be on top of this thing and not let it wrestle me. So that's all that it is for me, and I'm still learning. My heart still gets broken with, seeing our children the way that they are, and some of the things that they're unable to do. But there's optimism that's also within it. I take this stuff to the Lord, and I know that He's going to change it. I just got to keep believing, and at the same time, do my due diligence, because we pray and we want God to do things for us, but there's some things you got to do for yourself. So that's what this is all about: being proactive to help other people, and to make the change that you want to see. So I'm going to send my mother-in-law another link to bring her back in here. And I'm just going to have you come up and say a couple more things.
Tim's going to send you another link so that you can get back on. Okay. So I don't even know what you were saying. I was on the phone with my mom trying to get her.
I was just telling them that, I'm not, on to just be on, and sometimes you have to use wisdom and give people, what they need to hear. And exactly. If you don't have anything to say, then don't say anything.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, we're in the process. we are in the process of trying to get my mom back on. We appreciate you guys being patient with us. So right now in front of me, I have Evea is having a meltdown. And what we're learning is one of the ways that Grace copes with the meltdown, because it's she closes her ears and she starts reciting her ABCs. And that helps her regulate how she's feeling. One thing I have learned, what I'm going to do and have done, is I'm in the process of trying to get her some, what do you call them?
What?
The earphones.
Oh, noise
Canceling headphones, because I bought some from Amazon and they were trash. You could still hear absolutely everything. And so that was not noise canceling or reducing. So I found a website that sells autistic. Can you talk to her and just see? It's on mute, babe. Take it off speaker.
Can you hear me?
I found a website that says noise canceling headphones. Okay. Mute.
Okay, so it's muted.
No, not me. Her, us. I meant her, me.
You muted us?
Yes, I just did it.
Okay, mute it again.
Mute it again. Going on.
But I need to say that.
Go ahead. We're gonna let my mother-in-law
Okay.
give us something.
So there's a lot going on
Yeah.
right now, and my gasket is going to the sky. So I'm gonna let my mom say a few things, give some encouraging words, then we're gonna wrap it up, and then we'll do a part 2. Okay? Go ahead.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh.
Okay, so what happened?
You're good.
Can't hear you all now.
You're good.
You good? Go ahead and give us some.
I don't know
encouraging
what
words
happened again.
and help us get out.
To
Can you
come.
hear us?
Can you hear us, Mom?
Can you hear us? Oh, no, that's in the camera.
Boy, this
Okay.
is
Can
crazy.
you hear you? Can you hear
Let's
us?
just finish it. Just let it go.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Let it be like it is. You know, go ahead and
Just,
it's a lot of things
just let it go.
Okay. So.
going
All right.
on.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap up, but we'll see you next time. Don't change the channel. It's just getting better. We're just going through all the technical difficulties.
Growing pains.
It's going to get where it needs to go, okay?
Yes.
All right, y'all. So we'll see you next Sunday at 7.
Next Sunday at 7. We will have, we probably won't do we may do part 2 next week. I mean, I guess it only makes sense, right? To do part 2 next week.
How about we do a little bit of the testimony, because we have another guest that we want to bring on next
A
week.
little bit of what testimony?
Of what you said about the diagnosis. You want to
I don't understand.
we've gone, basically in, but I mean, we do have another guest to schedule, so we don't want to, just be out of order. So what we'll do is we'll play it by ear. We'll have her say a couple more things, then we'll switch. We'll talk about the next guest, and we'll get them in.
Well, we don't have to do part 2 tomorrow. I mean, next week. We can do part 2 the following week.
Well, we'll figure it out. Why don't you guys put in the notes what you guys would like?
Yeah,
to hear.
what do y'all want to see? Do y'all want to finish up part 2 next week, or do y'all want to? I mean, because we do have another guest lined up. My mom is getting back on. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
She said, let me back in. So they want her to finish.
Okay, so what we'll do is
like right now they want to hear her finish.
we're gonna let her finish then.
Okay, we're gonna mute and she's gonna talk.
Okay. All right, Mom. So
Okay.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna mute ourselves and we're
Just
gonna let you
mute.
talk. Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to say that we know that we've had some strange things to happen and everything. And there are times that the enemy, which is the devil, I'm going to be honest, does not want us and those that have special needs children to be encouraged. The enemy doesn't want us to hold our heads up. He wants us to feel discouraged and say, what is the use? Or he wants us to give up. But I want you to know that there is encouragement for you, that God has you. And all you've got to do is just continue to stand firm in the Lord, look to God, and ask him for those resources. They are there. And press through for it. But I want to
Okay, so
We got a lot of it. I'm gonna call you back.
With that in mind,
All right.
we know that there's a lot of technical difficulties going on, but just to piggyback off of what my mother-in-law was saying, we that we're Christians, we believe in Christ, and we just hope that you would find
Comfort.
and not just yourself, but in the Lord. He'll help you go through some of this stuff, and a lot of this stuff, you can get resources and just find out certain things that you can get, and support, and some people
It's
that will
frozen
support you.
on her.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and close this out. God bless you all. We'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. We love y'all.
Thank you, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Let the people know that we are out here. If you don't know nobody, tell somebody. Living with the spectrum, we're out here. We're helping. We're trying to get help and do all that needs to be done. That's it.